On the news, Buhari approves review of grazing reserves in 25 states. NNPC floats new subsidiary to oversee refineries. And Buhari condoles with late Hamad Joda's family. Glad to have you join us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogrinde. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the recommendation of a committee on the review of 368 grazing sites across 25 states of the Federation. He directed the committee to, among other things, determine the levels of encroachment and carry out its assignment with dispatch to bring more understanding on the grazing reserves and implementation. The presidential aide also reviewed that among its terms of reference, the committee was to collate from states and confirm the status of all grazing reserves. It would also assess the percentage of available land and those with existing encroachment complications for case-by-case resolution in partnership with state governments and the FCT. Joining me now to discuss this further is agro enthusiast Julius Oga. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, it's no news that the issue of grazing reserve and the ban on open grazing are issues that have raised a lot of concerns among party and ethnic lines. Now, so what do you make of this development? Do you believe grazing reserves would prefer solution to farmers-herders clash?
Thank you very much, Folashade, for having me on your show. Yes, grazing reserves is the way to go. Nigeria is not the only country in the world where we breed cattle and other livestock for food and the other benefits of the agro-value chain. But Nigeria is the only country where farmer-herder clashes and violent conflicts among herders and farmers and members of communities has become notorious. So grazing reserves definitely is the way to go. Ranching is the way to go.
Now, let's take a look at the opposition to this. Some people have said that, the land is being owned by the government of which state. And some have also said that allowing a certain ethnic group to own lands in their own localities could create future issues. What do you think of this?
Land ownership and land tenureship in Nigeria, I believe, is still a controversial issue. Be that as it may, that is the reason why government decided that some areas should be, provided as reserves for the benefit of those who are cattle herders. Now, when this happens, it prevents the kind of conflicts that we've been experiencing in this country in recent times that is intensifying. If we don't do that, then we are not trying to make conscious efforts to find a solution to this problem. We are all mutually beneficial to each other. The farmer is mutually beneficial to the cattle herder and to the livestock farmer because we mutually interrelate. Everything is linked in a very delicate manner. So you cannot, for the reasons of this kind of conflicts, say that, for the reasons of land ownership or ancestral land use that we have grown up with, say that you cannot provide something that will solve a problem in contemporary times. We are living in a very delicate world. We are all interrelated one way or the other. So nobody, in the real sense of the word, actually owns land. Nobody is born with a piece of land. But we are born into the earth. And we know that, okay, we belong to members of communities, and then we have other people infiltrating our communities with animals. If we don't want trouble with these people, we have to make we have to make arrangements in order to accommodate one another. And this is the way the world benefits from the agro-value chain. Other than that, we are going to continue to live in conflict, and no one enjoys that. Agro
entrepreneur Julius Oga, thank you so much for your contributions. Moving on, the All Progressive Congress, APC, says the party in the last 1 year under the leadership of Governor Maimala Buni's caretaker committee has demonstrated responsible leadership, which has helped to stabilize the party. Former member of the National Assembly and chieftain of the party, Patrick Obayagbon, said this while briefing newsmen at the party's national secretariat on Friday. Obayagbon expressed confidence that the APC is now well positioned for victory in the 2023 elections.
The membership registration organized and successfully conducted by the committee was a colossal success. At the conclusion of the exercise, the membership population of our great party rose to a little above 40 million, a figure well above the projected targets. May I pontificate that the suprafeat is unheard of in the history of political management, or if you like, political party husbandry, not only in our country, but in the entire continent of Africa. The CECPC embarked on a genuine reconciliation drive that accorded all aggrieved members fair hearing and objective responses, placing their interests above individual interests. Against the backdrop of the magnitude and plenitude of the reconciliation drive embarked upon by the CECPC, the fortunes of the party in the last year has greatly improved across the country, and especially in the southeast and south-south, which has been the stronghold and bastion of political opposition in the past. I can confidently tell you all today that the APC is now more peaceful, more accommodating, and more united with more prospects.
In a bid to resolve the lingering labor conflicts in the nation's health sector, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, is in a meeting with the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, the striking National Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, and other concerned parties. The meeting comes after a failed attempt to get the court to declare illegal the strike action embarked upon by the National Association of Resident Doctors, NAD. The Labour Minister made this known while briefing State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House. Ngige maintained that the government would go ahead to invoke the no work, no pay charter on the striking doctors, describing the association's resumed strike as illegal.
The resident doctors down tools and claimed that they were resuming a suspended strike. So I had then told them that there is nothing like suspended strike, that a strike is a strike. If you're on essential service, you must give the mandatory notice before you're down tools in order to enable your employer make arrangements for an ad hoc replacement during those periods. And the matter failed conciliation with the resident doctors. So I referred the matter through an instrument as per Section 17 of the Trade Dispute Act to the National Industrial Court. I also invoked Section 43 of the same Trade Dispute Act, laws of the Federation, not law of Ngige or law of Buhari, laws of the Federation, 2004, on withdrawal of wages during period of strike, which in common parlance here they call the principle of no work, no pay.
Now, today marks the 19th day since the face-off between the federal government and NAD began on August 2nd. So could this meeting finally bring an end to the strike action? NAD spokesman Dr. Oludotun Oshikoya joins us now. Thank you so much for your time. Now, the Labour Minister Chris Ngige said the government would go ahead to invoke the no work, no pay charter on the striking doctors. He also described the strike as illegal. How do you react to this?
Well, thank you very much for having me once again on the program. Well, it's so disheartening that when somebody works and they didn't pay the person, salary is not being paid, at the end of the day, because the person reacts they now started to wanted to threaten with no work, no pay. The question I will ask, what of work, no pay? What happened to that one? Well, the issue of no work, no pay was taken to the court last week, court of National Industrial Court last week about the issue of no work, no pay. So the issue is in court already, because I believe there should be a fair hearing and judgment, which the case has been postponed till September 15 for hearing. So with the minister still threatening no work, no pay, I believe there is still a court hearing about it. So I don't want to say much about that, because the case is already in court about the issue of no work, no pay for the doctors. So I don't have issue about that. But one thing I want to re-emphasize is that we are not asking for new things. We are asking for old things. Salary of our members, our welfare. Now, when he was talking about the illegality of that thing, that we didn't notify them, I can tell you authoritatively that we give them more time. After that April, in May, we give them 2 weeks of notice. We give another 2 weeks after expiration of that. Then we now give 4 weeks notice before we embark on this, resume back this strike again. But nothing was done about it. Even the MOA, if at the addendum added to the MOA, nothing has been done to it. We are just, I don't know.
Let me ask you one last question, Dr. Oludotun. What do you think the outcome of this current meeting would be? I mean, the NMA has waded into it, and also some other, stakeholders have waded into this conflict or this, issue, as you may say. But what exactly, or what do you think would be the outcome?
Well, I can't predict, because I'm not there. But the only language that we want, because the government have made us realize that they are insincere, they can't be trusted. Because we trust them then. They failed us. Now, those people that we beg them, okay, let's suspend this strike, they will pay your salary. They are still there suffering. Those things is not being done as of now. So even if you have a meeting now and something concrete has not come out, like having their salary paid, or give us a commitment that come Monday morning, everybody will receive their alert. They will collect their salary. I don't think we can always come out with something positive from there, because once beaten, twice shy. If they have relegated on their word, they promised us and they didn't fulfill it. So what's going to happen today? Is it going to be word of promise again? When people are suffering.
Well, Dr. Oludotun
Oshikoya is irresponsible.
Well, Dr. Oludotun Oshikoya, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for coming. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has described the late elder statesman and former chairman of the Buhari Transition Committee in 2015, Ahmed Joda, as a trustworthy and loyal companion who steadfastly stood for the interest of the nation. President Buhari made the remark on Friday at the palace of the state's paramount ruler, Lamido of Adamawa, where he went to commiserate with the state over the demise of elder statesman Ahmed Joda. The state governor, Hamadu Umari Finitri, while thanking the president for his visit, said the state has lost 3 prominent sons of the state. The Lamido of Adamawa, Muhammad Bakindo Mustafa, also appreciated the Nigerian leader for finding time within his tight schedule to commiserate with the people of Adamawa state.
You deem it fit to come and condole with us, even though you have a tight national engagement, and also today your son, your first son, will be getting married. But you still squeeze time out of your tight schedule because of your love, because of your friendship, because of your brotherliness, and because of your concern for the good people of this state, to come all the way from Abuja to come and condole with us on this day that you have tight schedule. All we will say on behalf of the people and government of Adamawa is to say thank you, Your Excellency.
Moving on, the New Nigeria movement has reiterated its commitment to stand against any form of injustice to victims of the #EndSARS protest that rocked the country last year. At a press briefing held in Lagos, the group also called for the withdrawal of all charges by the Attorney General of Lagos State Government and all others involved in the case against #EndSARS protesters.
It's always our right to express ourselves peacefully and to demonstrate peacefully. Demonstrations cannot be a crime. The spirit of EndSARS is a rebellion against being gagged. We must okay, you must speak out. We must come together. We are completely opposed to the scapegoating of innocent protesters by the Lagos State government and the Nigerian police. Protest is a fundamental human right, is constitutionally guaranteed freedom and liberty. We call for the withdrawal of all charges and information against our EndSARS protester by the Attorney General of Lagos State and the Lagos State government itself. We hereby place all the forces of the EndSARS movement on the alert against this latest situation of prolonged and unnecessary detention of innocent EndSARS protesters in prison alongside punitive and painful unwarranted trial. On the whole, we call on all like-minded lawyers, legal practitioners, to join us in this mounting task of securing the release of many EndSARS protesters in prison.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Burkina Faso terrorist attack kills 120 people. Details of this and more after the break. Welcome back. Now here is the highlights of some of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the recommendation of a committee on the review of 368 grazing sites across 25 states of the Federation. He directed the committee to, among other things, determine the levels of encroachment and carry out its assignment with dispatch to bring more understanding on the grazing reserves and the implementation. We also told you that President Muhammadu Buhari has paid tribute to the late elder statesman and former chairman of the Buhari Transition Committee in 2015, Hamad Joda. President Buhari described the late Hamad Joda as a trustworthy and loyal companion who steadfastly stood for the interests of the nation. Buhari said this on Friday at the palace of the state's paramount ruler, Amido of Adamawa, where he went to commiserate with the state over the demise of elder statesman Hamad Joda. In case you missed any of our news bulletin, for more updates, log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are at TV360 Online. The coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria is raging on as the country recorded additional 674 new infections across 16 states and the Federal Capital Territory on Thursday. The new infection figure, according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC), has increased the country's infection total to 185,267. The data provided by the NCDC shows Nigeria's commercial hub city, Lagos, reported the highest daily tally of 355, followed by Rivers State with 87 cases, and the FCT ranked third with 38 cases. 8 people also died from the virus, increasing the country's death toll from the pandemic to 2,244. We'll take a break here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us. Well, up next is business stories and stock market review with Abisola Adebayo.
Thank you very much, Falashadi. Welcome to Business News. To achieve maximum benefit from the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, the government must make strategic changes in its import-export policies. According to economic expert Shakiruddin Taiwo, many bottlenecks in form of governmental agencies serve as clogs in the wheel of Nigeria's competitiveness in attracting foreign imports.
Nigeria has one of the most expensive cost of import and export in the world. It costs 5 times to import or export from Nigeria than from developing countries in Latin American continent. And for some of these countries, they are as poor as Nigeria, and they are also within their development phase. So when you consider these cost of import and cost of export, so for this is a major challenge, even for SMEs in Nigeria that has goods to export to countries within the region. So it means this cost of import or the cost of freight and some other things would make Nigerian goods to be less competitive, so which is first challenge to MSMEs or businesses that would like to take position with the current implementation of the agreement. So the second is other ports or operations. So Nigeria also has one of the longest time to import and export in the world. So for example, so to export a goods out of Nigeria, you would have to deal with more than 5 regulatory agencies at the moment. So the issues with NAFDAC, the issues with Standard Organization of Nigeria, the issue with Customs and some others. And these agencies actually have in place different sets of requirements. And these actually make exporting from Nigeria to be less competitive.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has inaugurated the Board of Greenfield Refinery Limited, a subsidiary of NNPC, to oversee the establishment and operation of new refineries. Group Managing Director of the corporation, Mele Kyari, while swearing in the new board members in Abuja, charged them to explore all options to bring an end to the current challenges of petroleum product importation. Kyari explained that all the corporation's initiatives in the areas of new refineries, compensate refineries, and equity acquisition in credible private refineries were geared towards ensuring energy and security for the country. We'll take a pause here and return with stock market review.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if this thing he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
It's the final trading day of the week, and the bears have returned after yesterday's mild gain. The all-share index is up by 0.47%, with 280 million units of shares valued at over 3 billion naira in 4,012 deals. This means the equities cap declined by 117 billion naira. FTN Cocoa led the losers for today, closing at 40 kobo. University Press PLC followed with 14 other losers at the close of trading. For the top gainers, Lasaco led the pack, gaining 10% to close at 1 naira 54 kobo. And it's closely followed by Name It. Well, the good thing about today is it's positive market breadth with 20 gainers against 16 losers. Anyways, we keep our fingers crossed for the new week opening on Monday. Hopefully, the bull will surface. On trading today, 280 million units of shares valued at over 3 billion naira, exchange hands in 4,012 deals. On the global scene, the calmer mood that has seized the market since the US Open has spread to the FTSE, making it gain ground after a roller coaster week. That's why it's in the positive territory. Dow Jones gains among Wall Street on Friday, driven by strength in tech stocks, although concerns over a slow economic recovery and the possible tapering of stimulus saw the Dow set for its worst week since mid-July. Tokyo stocks finished lower today on Friday, with the Nikkei index falling to its lowest level since late December as the automobile sector was negatively affected by Toyota Motors' plan to slash global production and record highs of COVID-19 infections in Japan dragged down investor sentiment. That's why it recorded a 0.98% decline. That's all on stock market review. Over to Folashade for the rest of the news.
Well, thank you very much, Abisola, for that update. On the foreign scene, more than 120 people have been confirmed killed in a terrorist attack in a remote area of Burkina Faso near the border with Mali. According to a government statement, 65 civilians and 55 jihadists were killed during the first gun battle between members of a terrorist militia and the army, which took place near the town of Abinda in the north of the country, leading to a bloodbath. The country's police say they have arrested about 400 jihadists and recovered large quantities of weapons and ammunition from the scene. According to the United Nations, more than 1.2 million people have been internally displaced in Burkina Faso while fleeing violence at the hands of Islamic militia groups. Well, up next is Entertainment Report.
Anita Okoye, the wife of Nigerian singer Paul Okoye of the defunct music group P-Square, has filed for a divorce. In a court document, Anita requested the dissolution of their marriage and also advised the now estranged husband in the legal document to challenge the petition if he feels displeased. Anita first sparked divorce rumors in April when it was reported that she relocated with their 3 children to the United States of America. Former Baby Naija housemate Neo Akpofure gave his girlfriend V the cutest and most romantic birthday dinner. V, will turn 25 on Thursday, was treated to a boat cruise dinner by a reality TV star boyfriend. The couple with some of their close friends went on the cruise and had a swell time. Among those who partied with the couple were some of their other former housemates like Ozo, Eric and Lucy. Neo and V met during the 5th season of the reality TV show. Play Network Studios has confirmed the acquisition of 1998's Nollywood classic thriller Diamond Ring. The production company is set to remake the original film. Announcing the latest acquisition, Play Network boss Charles Okpaleke revealed it might wrap up the studio's long list of classic remakes, sequels and reboots. Following Play Network's 2019 acclaimed outing with the award-winning Living in Bondage sequel, the production company has acquired rights to a number of Nollywood classics. And that is all that's worth for you on the entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment now to sports. To contribute to the development of boxing in Nigeria, a Ajegunle-born US-based boxer Gifted Cole has organized a one-day boxing clinic for prospective boxers in Festac area of Lagos. Cole was the title holder of WBF junior middleweight champion during the event, maintained that if the decline in sport development is properly addressed, Nigeria would produce more Olympic champions in boxing as opposed to the current situation. This next report has the details.
For what seemed like a shock to many Nigerians, Nigeria failed to present a boxer to qualify for the just concluded Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and this has fueled several reactions. Some say this is because Nigerian boxers are not given deserved attention. As a way forward, US-based Nigerian boxer Gifted Cole has organized this boxing clinic for prospective boxers in Lagos. Boxers of different ages in the Festac area of Lagos slug it out, showcasing their talent in the ring in 15 main bouts. Cole, the organizer of the event, says the clinic is essential to scout and groom talented boxers in the grassroots.
I know how hard it is for boxers to break through. I know how hard it takes to get to the limelight. So I know how hard it is whereby people don't really pay attention to boxers. People don't want to do things for boxers. So I've been there because I've been there okay, now I'm out of that situation. I don't want to leave these young boxers here in Lagos, here in Nigeria, just stranded just like that. That's why we're doing this, so we can help few boxers.
The young boxers expressed excitement about showing off their skills in the ring.
It was a wonderful fight, so it's just my first experience. So I believe that my next fight will be better than this one. I love the sports, I love the game, so I have passion for it. I want to use it as a career.
I don't have anything. Once I know it's my job and it's my career, so I don't have the right to lose here. I must be a winner because I train every day for the fight.
Stakeholders at the event urged the federal government to pay more attention to boxing in Nigeria, saying the sport is capable of putting the country on the map.
For somebody to come out and do a boxing like this in this time around is not easy. So I praise that guy for what he's doing, and also we are going to move around from local government to local government to scout. We have what it takes to go to Olympic. We have what it takes to go to Olympic. We are just trying to tell our government that they should please come down to the grassroots and help with coaches to bring out the best.
State government, especially Lagos state government, they are trying their best in bringing out or showcasing our youth with God-given talent to box. They have all the opportunity, but be that as it may, there can still be room for improvement.
For Nigeria to reclaim a glorious place in the world of boxing, the ring must witness consistent fights, which initiatives like this have set out to achieve. Abisola Adebayo, TV360 News.
And it's a wrap on our news bulletin. Thank you for watching. I am Folashade Ogrinde. Bye for now.